What an amazing turn of events. Banks are now rejecting.
What did he say?
Rejecting credit applications. So you know when you were looking for that loan and you decided to take in that old pre-approval and say, okay, I'm now ready to buy a house. Now banks are saying,
no, things have changed.
Imagine that. We're gonna jump into it. My name is Orlando. Welcome to the channel. And as always, hit that like and subscribe button. It really does help out the channel. Check out in the description. I have a real estate investing for beginners and a YouTube course in the description. Please, guys, look, this is crazy. If you've been watching my videos, this shouldn't be a surprise to you. But I have always said from the very beginning, if you're gonna sit on the sidelines with a purpose, sit on the sidelines with a purpose. I know, doesn't that sound crazy? It is exactly what I've been saying. These banks, I should know, I'm in the industry, guys, are now saying to you,
Guys, things have changed. The amount of credit that we're allowing to give to individuals and the way that inflation and the recession and things are going now, we're gonna change some things and it's not gonna be in your favor.
So I have always said this, guys, to really pay attention to this stuff. But let's jump into it. It says U.S. loan application rejection soar as lenders exercise caution. This is not a surprise, guys. And if anybody's been following what's going to be going on in the market, in the economy, these banks will do whatever they have to do to keep their bottom line together. They want to stay in the positive, and they're not in the business of lending to individuals that 2 years ago sounded like a good idea. They're going to reassess. In a concerning trend for American consumers, the rejection rate for credit applications has hit a 5-year high, reaching 21.8% in the 12 months through June. This surge in application rejection has been attributed to combined impact of high interest rates and growing caution among lenders in the country. Guys, and this is something that I have been pushing the button on, sounding the alarms on, that if you haven't been getting yourself together, putting money into your savings account, taking this down deposit money that's burning a hole in so many of you guys' pockets, making you have FOMO and thinking to yourself,
I don't know, man. Paying $50,000 over asking sounds like a deal.
Like, does that sound nuts to you guys? I know some of you guys are like, yeah, Orlando, that sounds crazy when you say it. But some of you guys are thinking emotionally, and I understand. You want to get a home for you and your family. Like I said, you see yourself playing with your kids in the backyard, your kids going to great schools, and you are thinking to yourself, I don't know, this sounds like a good deal. But you have to go back to logic, guys. Are you willing to put your family in a financial risk, a financial bind, that if this thing collapses, if you lose $100 or that $50,000 over asking, will it ruin you? How long will it take you to regain that equity back? 5, 10 years, maybe? Now let's look at this tweet from the New York Fed research. It says, SCE Credit Access Survey. The overall rejection rate for credit applicants increased to 21%, the highest since 2018, as we say. And then it says the rejection rate for auto loans increased to a new series high of 14.2%, up from 9.1% in February. Now let's take a look at this. It says credit applicants, and it says the 21.8, and then auto loans also have a rejection of 14.2%. I've been saying this, guys. I've done videos on repos going up, on individuals overspending. Remember, this is an actual trend where people are actually bragging about car notes being super high.
Hey sir, what is your car payment?
Mine is $1,325.
And what kind of vehicle is that?
It's a 22 Ford Raptor.
Okay. You have another payment?
I do, actually. My wife's, hers is $1,000. It's a 22 Ford Expedition.
I'm not making this up. I promise you. People are literally on the internet, on TikTok saying, yeah, man, I'm paying $2,000 on 2 cars, combined $4,000 on my car notes, and I'm happy about it. What? Are you nuts? People are actually bragging about spending a ridiculous amount on car loans.
1386.
And what kind of car requires a $1,386 payment?
A 2022 Grand Wagoneer Series 3.
Buying cars that they cannot afford. So of course repos are going to go up when people are now losing their jobs, when things are going up high, when you have 7, 8, 9% loans with good credit on car loans. When you have all of these things combined, of course, individuals are going to lose cars. Of course, banks are going to say, you know what? This is getting crazy. Based on your DTI, your debt to income ratio, it doesn't look like you can afford this BMW that you want. Why are you spending $100,000 in a BMW, but yet you're trying to buy a home and you're living in an apartment? Does that make sense? Now, I know someone in the comment section is going to say,
Orlando, I don't know what you're talking about. I deserve that BMW. Orlando, I don't care. I'm in a different situation.
okay, great. Look, I'm talking to individuals that it just doesn't make sense. And maybe that person that's saying that is probably one of those people. I know. You got to get on me in the comment section, but it's just the truth. Why are you buying a $100,000 car, but yet you don't have a house?
You're broke! You're poor!
Why are you buying that $100,000 car when you can't even get approved for a home? Shouldn't you have been stacking that money to the side like we have been talking about? Sitting on the sidelines with a purpose. Haven't we been talking about that? Shouldn't the house come before the house? 100% it should. If you don't want to buy a house, okay, great. Then do what you want. But if your goal is to buy a home, you shouldn't be spending $100,000 on a car, $150,000 on a car, and then getting rejected for buying a home because you've dumped all of your money into this BMW. I mean, that is your home. That's your home right there. The BMW, you better get ready to sit in that passenger seat and eat, Popeye chicken sandwiches. You better have a microwave right in the passenger side and put the TV dinner in there because that's going to be your home. That is your home. That's what you spent all of your money on.
Back where you started, Wagey.
And then let's take a look at this data here. This is directly from the New York Fed. It says here, auto loans, rejection rate was higher than application rate over the past 12 months. And then you see it jumping up and down, and it's going high. From 2013, when data collection began, the rejection rate for auto loans has surpassed the application rate. Isn't that nuts? But it's not surprising. People out here living the life, right? And this is the reason. This is the exact reason why the Fed has to continue raising rates. Because if people are still out here trying to buy cars at a ridiculous amount that they cannot afford, the rejection rate is ridiculous because it doesn't match up with your DTI, your debt to income, and your credit showing that you have delinquencies and everything else on there, right? You can't afford it. The spending has to be slowed down. And for that to happen, the demand needs to be shut down. And for the demand to be shut down, rates need to continue to go up. And I know some of you guys are like, we need these interest rates to go down. We need these that's when I'm going to jump back. But don't you think everybody wants interest rates to go down? If the interest rates go down, it's going to be a flood of people. I don't think that we're ever going to get back down to 2% interest rates. And if we do, it's going to be 10 years from now, 5-10 years from now. But if we were to go down to 2-3% right now, everybody and their mom would flood the market. And not only would they flood the market, the value of homes would just skyrocket. Why do you think that you see properties up for, 2, 3, 4 weeks on the market now? Why do you think you see that? It's because the interest rates are so high. So here's a point to knock my point home. As interest rates continue to rise, overall credit applications have declined to 40.3%. So there's been a decline, basically 40% in applications for loans, guys. There has been a decrease. But why is that a decrease? Because people know,
man, I'm not gonna pay 8%, 9% for a home. I'm not gonna pay 7-8% for a auto loan.
You think that people are going to pay that? So what does that tell you? That tells you the rate increases are doing their job. That shows you that we still need to raise rates because spending is still not there. People are still out here buying $4 apples.
Who does that?
People are still out here saying, you know what? No problem. I don't care what the price is. I mean, we just see people buy Beyonce tickets and Taylor Swift tickets.
Because you're here and you've called in sick.
That is very true.
They're having the best year ever. Where is all this disposable income coming from? Only if there was an event that gave people so much money that we're trying to dig ourselves out of the hole. If I could just put my finger on that. You know, and that's what we're trying to get rid of. Isn't that crazy? The government gives all this money away, and to fix the economy, they gotta wait till it all drains out of the system. Isn't that nuts? So I know what you're thinking, Orlando. So you just showed us data previously in a couple of other videos ago that people's accounts and whatnot people were losing their savings. So where are they getting all this spending money from? Well, I'm glad you asked. Well, if we take a look at credit cards, people are now replacing the income that they do not have anymore, their savings that has depleted, and now they're going straight to credit cards. And interest rates are now higher than they've ever been. Let's take a look at this chart by the Fed Consumer Commercial Banking assessed interest rates on credit cards. You look at this chart. I mean, what do you see? You see that interest rates from November 21 to now, May 23, they just skyrocketed. They're at 23%, and it's even higher than that now. We're at 24, 25% on interest rates on credit cards. And I know, listen, I keep trying to tell folks, you got $10,000 of Popeyes chicken sandwiches on your credit card, you're paying 26% interest rate on that. And I know some of you are like, Orlando, come on, man. But that's true. That's true. You have maxed out your credit card on fast food, and you're paying 26% interest on that. I hope those chicken sandwiches are good. I really do. You remember when the 2021 and they were getting all the promotion for the chicken sandwiches and everybody ran out to do it?
There was a lunchtime mob scene to get one.
A lot of you guys are just swiping away on your Visa and MasterCard. You guys maxed out the cards. Now you're paying 26% interest on those meals. And you haven't paid it off. And then you're putting in applications for limit increases. Now, instead of putting yourself in this situation, you say, Orlando, how do I get myself? Pay down the chicken sandwiches. Pay down on your credit cards. Try to get rid of the debt. Try to get rid of that debt. And then you won't get yourself in a situation where you're one of the individuals that are getting rejected now from the bank. And you won't be one of those individuals taking old pre-approvals to the bank and saying, hey, can you update this? And then you get the rejection stamp saying, hey, man, we're not lending to you. Okay, guys? So as always, I hope that you got value out of this content, but I'm gonna need you to watch this video here. It will help you learn about this crazy housing market, get financial news, get into your first rental property. Guys, listen, and I promise you the information you will get from that video, it will be gold. See you on the next one. Thanks.